right. Yeah, I want to talk AI. I think you all expected that. It had to happen at one time this day. But you started the video. That would be nice. Most likely just like you, I was watching a lot of presentations. I saw or witnessed a lot of discussions around AI. But we all know AI has been around the block for a while, right? But generative AI is really the game changer for all of us. Nonetheless, whenever I heard this discussion, it was like, I call it, it's either gloom or glory. So there were sort of people who said, hey, AI is doing my work for me. And those who say, oh my God, AI is taking my job away. So it's like 0, 100, and somewhat nothing in between. There must be something, though. And so we at CoreMedia, especially here in the content space, we thought, hey, there's so much more that I can do to really become your co-pilot, to make your life easy, not do the work for you, make your life easier, make it even more fun. Why not? You know, especially since we all work remote, or most of us at least work remote, let's have someone who makes it a little bit more enjoyable to work and get us over those little humps that occasionally happen whenever we are creating jobs. So I'm here in my trusty demo system. I'm working in pre-sales. You know, we avoid slides whenever we can and like to show software. So let's dive into a day of an editor. Let's say we want to talk about creating a new blog post. This is, yes, a B2C example, but I hope you can see all the things that I'm showing, all those little features, can as much as be a help for B2B or government scenarios as well. So I want to really focus on a few examples. It's not the limit, a few examples of what AI can actually do for you. Cheers. So let's say we create a nice little blog post. A blog post about something that we do every week. And we typically start with an idea. And from the idea to get rolling, it takes a while. Especially if we have blank sheet of paper, digital paper. So how do we do this? You see here in the video, you all know that, and by the way, I'm not introducing CoreMedia. You know where to find us if you want to have a full presentations of CoreMedia. I'm really focusing on AI-related features today. But you see, creating a new article, as I said, blank piece of paper, scary, and I think that's the first idea of what AI can mean for you. We all have it. Sometimes we're not that inspired. It's Friday, I don't know. So asking for help, it's the first start. And AI is great for that. You don't even know exactly what you would like to write about. You just have, so to speak, a tagline. And in this case, we integrated with a few services out there. By the way, there are plenty of other services, but we decided to integrate with OpenAI and Wonk AI. You see that here in our trusty feedback hub. We integrated that, ChatGPT. Everyone was talking about ChatGPT already, so I want to focus on our friends from Wonk AI, just to give you a different kind of example of what AI can be and how can you use that. But it works the same principle. You are starting to type a prompt. And that's actually something where I say, invest a little bit to understand how to write proper prompts. Not sure if you already talked to my colleague Catherine at the stage out there where we have this little AI artsy display with Midjourney. Asking for the right thing from the AI is really helping you out. So invest a little bit of time to understand what's possible, how to ask for questions. In this case here, let me just ask for a blog post with certain length of text all around summer fashion coming up this year. We all know AI is not an oracle, it's not a truth sayer, it's not, you know, a know-it-all. Quite frankly, it's a language model. And it's looking into the past. Well, in fashion, everything comes back at least once, so that can help us. But in this case here, really keep in mind that this is a language model. So whenever you use AI, please do me a favor. Read over it. I think, Sören, you talked a little about this, a little bit of a human touch. Exactly, you need that. You are the expert. You are the expert in your industry. You are the expert in your company. And more important, you are the expert about your consumers. So don't go into this, oh, AI is doing everything for me. No, why? if all of your competitors also are doing the same as you, where's the advantage? So with the Wonk AI integration, you see that in here we have a little bit of text generated. We even have a confidence level of Wonk AI about what the text is all about. And if you use a text based on trained data from all over the world, or if you're restricting that to only your content or content between you and a few selected other sources, perfectly fine. Again, don't take it for granted, read over it. There can be a lot of, excuse my French, shit in there. So really make sure that you read through that. But you now have a structure. Very important, right? From a blank piece of digital paper, you now have a structure. You now have something to start, and that's typically one of the big hurdles. And also here, Wonk AI, which I think is a nice little add-on, you see at the bottom of that Experience Feedback Hub module that we have sources. So you know where the text is coming from. Is it maybe from a page that you definitely don't want to be associated with? Is it from a competitor? You stay in control with these information about the text. You can, of course, regenerate if you don't like it. But again, it's about starting it in this scenario. So once you're happy with the text, you just click the button and apply it, so to speak, into your article text, and you're good to go. From this point on, you work with CoreMedia like you always did, right? You enhance the experience, you read through it in the what you see is what you get preview, you enhance it with product, videos, collections of other content pieces, teasers, and so on and so forth. So again, it's not AI doing everything for me. Well, if you want to do this, go ahead, but I definitely don't recommend that, as I mentioned. You are the experts, so why would you give away that advantage? But you have everything you need. In my scenario here, my demo site, imaginary B2C retailer, we are all about fashion. So the text that was presented to me is not only my starter, it might even have a few ideas that I haven't thought about. I mean, shorts in summer, well, maybe that's not unique, right? But that's what I'm saying about it's looking into the past. But that's where we want to go over, exchange the content. And we can also add on content. Sustainability, big topic, wasn't presented 2 years ago, hence it was not in the trained material. I just simply copy and paste into it. So now we go from here with the usual space. By the way, AI can do a lot more for me. I'm not a native English speaker, so whenever I can, I use tools to help me get rid of my typos. Everyone who's seen demos from me knows that I have a lot of typos. So it's also very helpful for this. Or other scenario, you want to write a text in a different tone. How about you are a B2B company and you would like to explain your machinery to a 10-year-old? I do not really know how a 10-year-old's currently speaking, so help would help me. Or if you're in government and you're looking for young people for entry-level jobs, write it in the tonality of those users. So it's not just B2C in my scenario here, it's really useful for any kind of text. All the way even down to translations. Quite frankly, AI is almost much better than classic translation services. And it's a click of a button that you can go through it. And you even have it generated in multiple locales within a few seconds, right? So there's so much that can help you to create text, extend text, write it longer for me, make it shorter for me. All those things that AI can do for now for you here in the system. As I mentioned before, you definitely want to spice up that little story block that I was talking about. I think I just showed here one example to include a little bit of our teasers in here, real-time integration with the e-commerce platform, but it can be something else. In this case, I'm using our quick search. No, not AI, just a regular search, but still helpful to find the relevant content. And it's just a few clicks, no technical knowledge needed. You all know that that is one of our big principles at CoreMedia, and you do this with all the content that you would like to use to enhance your text. So now that I have my content in there, I'm going back into my Experience Feedback Hub into the Issue tab. Nothing new, we have that for a while. That's our validation framework. That can also help me to get over those initial humps of creating my story. It's Again, not AI, just rules that you apply based on your UX, based on your rules, how you would like to have your content. And the suggestion that we have in here is that I would like to have a few images in there. And it gives me another use case for AI. You all heard that, DALL-E, and again, there's so many cool services out there. I'm not promoting DALL-E, but we integrated with that one a few months ago already. And I want to talk a little bit about that. I'm using a very simple prompt here to generate simple picture for a woman in colorful dress on the beach. I could have invested a little bit more in prompts or a more detailed prompt, but again, wanted to show you what's easily possible without going into too much trouble, so to speak. We see here we generate 5 images, just a configuration for that. We can zoom in and pick up the ones. But I like to talk a little bit about that because right now you have to be a bit careful with these kind of images. The one that I'm picking in here and importing into the system, as soon as the preview opens, you see realistic, photorealistic images still have their little quirks. Let me call it this way. So the preview here from our image, you will see it's a lot more, I'll call it artsy, than it is photorealistic. And if I look at the page, quite frankly, it's creepy. And faces and hands, so those super detailed things, still a bit cautious. Don't get me wrong, Midjourney, for example, great example for a service that has really figured it out. So I'm thinking it maybe takes just a few more weeks for all of those services to iron this out. So just be careful, look over it and all that, and maybe use it in this kind of fashion. Maybe let your customers or your consumers generate art for you. Make a competition out there. Just engage with your users for that, even if you don't want to use images like that, or really use it as artsy pictures in that. Now that I have my image, my crop, what do I take care of? Metadata, of course, right? So something that we have in the system for a while is Imaga. Imaga, another one of those services where we just send that image, and even that artsy image, you will see Imaga is smart enough to actually give us really good keywords. So these suggestions actually pretty good. We have high confidence level, even if creepiness is in that image. So the service is not only for content generation, it can also be content tagging, content metadata, SEO, which I will show you in a few minutes a little bit more detailed. But what I want to say is AI is so much more that you can do, and you can really establish it to your processes, what you want to do. It doesn't have to be do my work for me and I'm going to grab a coffee. It can be those little things where you're struggling, where you as a company, where you as an editorial team struggle. This is where it can help you. So the image that I have ready in here with my keywords involved, all I have to do, drag and drop it into my story page, and good to go. Issues tab. What is my issues tab talking about? Metadata again, SEO. And here, let me go to Wonk AI one more time. Different service, the summarizer service. Talked about this earlier. You can ask for shortened text, you can ask for lengthened text, but often those regular text components, oh my God, until you have the right sentences. Here, the summarizer, I'm just asking for one sentence summary. Sentence I can use for teaser copy. Text I can use for my newsletter, promoting my new story, my social media post, or even simpler in my workflow when I'm handing over the task to publish my content. I could give, for example, my lawyer a short little description so they don't have to go through the whole text. Just with the summary can say, all right, I go, got it, nothing for me. So summarizing, also very nice. Descriptions, metadata, product descriptions. Often when you got into catalog and you have gazillions of products and categories, why not generate that kind of content in here? So now that I have my video slowing down, so even if I don't have a clicker, something is always going wrong, I know that. So, however, by the way, not the software, this is really the video. I'm just pointing that one out here. So what else do I have in here when I take care of related content? Why not? So for those of you who are knowing our marketplace, we have something that we call the extension for content suggestions. Not AI, Just because you have a hammer doesn't mean everything is a nail. Nope, this is just simple metadata tagging, right? But so easy, you can go for your content, find relevant content, and attach it to it. Just a few clicks, and yes, you can automate all those things, but again, we want to stay in control. We want to have the editor to stay in control, but be faster in doing the job, make it more fun, right? So what's the next thing? Oh yeah, tagging here as well. Every content should have proper metadata, proper SEO, big important aspect. You all know CoreMedia has SEO, segmentic, keyword matching for, I'm pretty sure, decades, multiple, in the system. Nothing new here, but use it, right? Especially if you already have it, match it to what your taxonomy is, and make your life easy. Don't forget it. It can help you so much around it. But since we are already here, and I want to talk about AI, and I want to show you what AI services can do for you, let me go back to Wonk AI and ask the transformer service from those gentlemen. And the transformer service, very simple principle that you just saw with Imaga, right? I'm just asking, based on my article text, what are relevant keywords? What are relevant keywords in my industry, right? And it's just a click of a button away. Same here, just clicking the plus button whenever I like my keyword and attach it to my content. Just going a little bit quicker, how about generating a title? I have a tendency of writing very passively. My favorite way of sending sentence, everyone in this company knows, starts with so, or however, or exactly. So if I ask an AI for my title, can be more active, can be a little bit more engaging. So again, here I have my title, click of a button, apply it into my HTML title. I actually also going to use that for my article headline included. So just a little bit helping me overcoming my little problems and issues and just making my life easier without me forcing to include, for example, a colleague around this. So I'm getting a lot more confidence about my content before I have the analytics forcing upon me. Same with the description, right? Generating a little bit of an HTML description for me. Click of a button, generate it, apply it. I'm talking more about it. You can click through this in less than seconds, but I wanted to introduce it to you, so I'm talking a little bit more about it. And again, my validation framework here intercepts a little bit and says, hey, that's a tidbit too long. So it's not just either or. You can combine that AI with validation, non-AI principles. And as you can see here, there are so many smaller things that you can do with AI, and that's really, for me, important. 0, 100, there's a lot in between that you can do. And here, just a few ideas. There's so much more that's possible with language models, if you have especially trained language models. So don't say, oh, I don't want to do AI because I'm afraid of my job, or it's AI or I'll go home. There's a lot in between. So my issues tab told me now all's done. Perfect. So again, my video is stuck. I love it. So anyway, my article is ready and good to go. The only thing that I do is testing it out. I place my content wherever I like. I use dynamic collections to position my text, tagging content to put it in campaigns. There's so much more possible with these features that we have in the system for a while. And AI is helping you on the road as well. And I hope I gave you a good look into what's already available at CoreMedia. So go to our marketplace and download the extension if you like. Also, we have our friends at Wonk AI here that pretty sure will answer all your questions that you have around the technology. And hopefully, as I said, I pointed out there's a lot in between ignoring AI and fully forcing AI into the system. It should become your co-pilot, not your replacement. Thank you.